Sports Snippets! Dennis Sullivan, how in the world are you doing? Here on a late night Monday to discuss Week 2, NFL 2021. Before I get started, I'm going to do a quick recap of the games that have just concluded over the last 24 hours or so. And if you like the content of this particular video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe as well to my channel, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. I also recap all Dolphin games. You can check out my latest recap, which I just finished Sunday night, of the Bills 35-0 defeat of the Miami Dolphins. So let's get into it, guys. Week 2, I'm going to do a quick run through the games and my feedback and comments and stuff like that. All games except for some I have more to say than others. I mean, I'm just going to talk about what I believe are the highlights and some things that I picked up on. All games except for Monday night, which is being played right now, Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers. 3 things stand out right off the top, guys. Right off the top of my head. 3 things that stand out, 2 of which are individual performances. Derrick Henry was amazing for Tennessee. What an amazing performance he had. Almost 200 yards on the ground. We'll get to that in a little bit. A little more specifics on that one. And also Derrick Carr, do you realize, has now thrown for over 800 yards in the first 2 weeks of this season. And the Las Vegas Raiders are now off to a 2-0 start. Derrick Carr lighting it up. That might even be an understatement for the Raiders. And then point number 3, as far as the top 3 things jumping out at me for week number 2 is, man, I'm telling you, if you're a Viking fan out there, if you're a Minnesota Viking fan out there, you have a quarterback who's playing well in Kirk Cousins. You have a good offensive team. You have Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs in the game. And you're sitting there at 0-2. Not only are you sitting there at 0-2, that's just the beginning of it. 2 heartbreaking losses. The first one in overtime last week to the Bengals. And then a 1-point loss to a good team, the Arizona Cardinals. In a way, the Vikings are one of the best 0-2 teams I've seen in quite some time. But the other way to look at it is, man, you can't lose both games. Get off to a 0-2 start. But they're better than that. I was actually hoping they'd win that game. Not that I really cared who won between the Cardinals and Vikings, because I really didn't. But I kind of wanted to see Minnesota Vikings win, just to kind of even their record up after that tough loss in week 1. But anyway, guys, let's run through the rest here. Washington football team. Heineke's a good he's a good backup now starter. Remember, he played well in the playoffs last year for Washington football team, who almost defeated the eventual Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He would throw for over 300 yards in that game in the playoffs last year. Leads his team to victory 30-29 over the struggling New York Giants, who can't seem to get stops. They can't get stops when you need to get stops. That equals problems, guys. That equals problems. Chicago Bears get the job done against the Cincinnati Bengals 20-17. It doesn't matter if Andy Dalton and Fields there and Justin Fields both played a hand in it. It was almost quarterback by committee type of situation, but they did enough to get the job done. I think Andy Dalton, in my humble opinion, is your better choice for now. You just go with him for now, but I tell you, they're finding their way, are the Bears, and they got a nice 3-point win over the Bengals. Joe Burrow intercepted 3 times in that one, throws 2 touchdowns against 3 interceptions, 207 yards. Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield, looking pretty good. 19 of 21, 213 yards, pretty efficient. Touchdown and interception. Chubb was awesome. Only 11 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Great average running the football. Kareem Hunt, 13 for 51. That's a good running attack. for the Cleveland Browns. Don't forget, they just really went toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs. They took them deep in the fourth quarter. I mean, they could have won either of those games last year in the playoffs and then to start this season, both in Kansas City. There's a lot to be said for that. Got to like the Browns this year. Got a pretty good team. Let's see what happens moving forward. Rams moved to 2-0, 27-24 over the slightly rebuilding Colts. I say that because there's a lot of talent there. But with Wentz, who played pretty well, 247 yards, a touchdown and interception. But with the Colts, and you got Taylor in the backfield. He's a good runner. They just have, it's new personnel. They're trying to find their way. Stafford again for the Rams. Throws for 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp exploded, 9 catches, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. What I like with the Rams is they're doing that running back by committee very effectively. Henderson Jr., 13 carries, 53 yards and a touchdown. Sony Michel, 10 carries, 46 yards. I like that. I like the way the Rams are going about things. Very well-coached team. We all know that. Buffalo, Miami, as mentioned in the beginning. You can catch that video. I recap that game. Check out my channel, Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. Big win for the Bills, by the way. New England Patriots, guys. New England. 25-6 over the Jets. Jets. Zach Wilson. Welcome to the NFL, Zach Wilson, who played half decent in week 1, throws for 210 yards in week 2, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions for Zach Wilson. Mac Jones got it done. 22 of 30, 186 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. I like Mac Jones. I do. I like him at the position, and he's just a rookie. I mean, only in his second game of his career, he leads the Patriots to the victory. Damian Harris, he's impressive. I mean, he didn't overwhelm the Jets. 16 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown, but that's good enough. I mean, not bad. Derrick Carr, as mentioned in the beginning of this video, 382 yards in this one, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Henry Ruggs, the third, 5 catches, 113 yards, guys, and a touchdown. Niners defeat the Eagles. That's a good matchup, 17-11. Niners now 2-0. Broncos now 2-0 with a big win, guys. You got to like that. And then Carolina over the Saints. So the Saints looked awesome in week 1. You never know how this is going to go, guys. Week 2 is very interesting because teams like that looked really good in week 1. Off the top of my head, the Saints and the Steelers go out in week 2 and almost look like completely different teams. I still like the Saints, though. I mean, it's an off week. They're also in that state of, they're kind of like the Colts in a sense, in that they've gone through some changes here. You got Winston at the helm, top players getting into their roles. Check back on both those teams in about 3-4 weeks. That is the Colts and Saints, particularly the Saints. There's a lot of upside there, no doubt. As mentioned with the Vikings at the top of the video, guys, Dalvin Cook, let's not forget his effort either. 22 carries, 131 yards, 131 wasted yards as the Vikings fall to 0-2. Nice win for the Cardinals. Cousins, as mentioned, plays good again. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 244 in the air. Kyler Murray, he may have been picked off twice, but he throws for 3 touchdowns and 400 yards in the win. Dallas, which I got in the second game on Sunday, nationally televised, defeat the LA Chargers 20-17. Nice quarterback matchup there. Dak Prescott and Herbert. Game could have really went either way. Cowboys a little bit better. They look a little bit better this year, guys. They just do. I mean, it's only through 2 games, but I'm believing kind of, sort of, in this team, in this 2021 version of the Dallas Cowboys. Tampa Bay all over the Falcons, 48-25. 44-year-old Tom Brady making it look easy once again. 276 yards passing. Count them, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Just another day at the office, and I believe he did punch out after the game. If not, we'll have to make sure we have his time that he entered for that game. Did he punch out? I think he did. Or maybe he didn't. He's studying right now. He's getting ready for the next opponent already, probably. The guy's amazing. I mean, it's almost impossible to cheer against this guy. I mean, I remember all those years when he was the quarterback for who can forget, for the Patriots. And when I had Dolphin tickets, and I, obviously did not want to see the Patriots play well, and he would play well every single time. Although Dolphins, even when the Dolphins didn't have good teams during some of those years, I had tickets during 2002 to 2005. So this was the beginning of the Brady era, the early stages. And Dolphins would play well, even though, especially in 2004, 2005, as I recall, they didn't have good teams. I don't want to get off the topic here, guys, and I don't want you to shut down my video here and hit the stop button. So I will end this little segue. I got on a little bit of a segue by saying that Brady, even though Dolphins would step up, play him hard, man, I'm telling you, Brady is something else. I mean, he is just something else. It's almost like I can't describe how awesome he is. And he's the best quarterback of all time, guys. Let's just admit it. I mean, forget it. Forget all the different angles and who's going to do what. Right now, he is, as of right now, the best quarterback in NFL history, in my opinion. No questions asked. Tennessee got a win. They needed that one. Even their record at 1-1. They defeat Seattle Seahawks 33-30 in overtime. Seattle falls to 1-1. How about Derrick Henry? 35 carries. You don't see that very often these days. 182 yards. Are you kidding me? And 3 touchdowns, guys. Julio Jones for Tennessee. Let's not forget, he is now a Titan. 6 catches for he went for 128 yards. In the loss, great effort by Tyler Lockett with 178 yards receiving on 8 catches and a touchdown. And the Sunday night game as I close out this video. Oh, man, guys. I tell you, that was a great game. 36-35. I got to tell you, man, that was something else. Baltimore Ravens, you get all the credit in the world. You even your record at 1-1. The Chiefs, I'll tell you what, guys. You notice the Kansas City Chiefs now? I mean, everyone's got them marked on their calendar. I mean, this team, to their credit, just went to the Super Bowl twice. Jackson's a great player, right? And so is Mahomes. I mean, these are great players. But the Chiefs, everyone gets up for them as if it's like the Super Bowl or the conference championship game. Let's keep in mind, too, guys, even though I believe the Chiefs are still the best team in the AFC, maybe that gap is getting a little bit more small as far as their advantage over the other teams. But what they're trying to accomplish isn't accomplished very often, and that is they're trying to go to their 3rd straight Super Bowl. So there's a lot to be said there. But they would lose this one 36-35. Game could have went either way. They had a fumble there late in the game, did the Chiefs. And the Ravens were able to basically run out the clock with a key first down. So, I tell you guys, Week 2 was actually better than Week 1. And Week 1 was pretty good. Pretty entertaining stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. Hang around later this week. I'm going to be doing definitely Saturday afternoon. I'll probably go back to the snippets board. We'll do I'm thinking maybe some college football, but then I'm thinking maybe talk about some coaches. I got some topics on my mind here, so leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. I'll consider any other topics for later this week. It is a lot of fun making these videos. I hope you enjoy them. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share my thoughts of Week 2 in the NFL. Let's see how the Monday night game goes, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.